we're live. I think. I think. We're live. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's that. Let's go ahead and look over to this other place. Looks like we're live everywhere. Yeah. So just not getting the information back, but sorry. There we go. Just doing new things and trying to figure out how it's supposed to work. So, high efficiency, right? So it's there. And then it's there. Wait. Oh, darn it. That was dumb. So, today we're starting out with high efficiency intermediate, which is moderately, like, it's certainly on the doable spectrum. I think that implies that one's there. Oh, that, yeah. See how smart I am? Sometimes I'm muy smart. Not any of those places. Not any of those means it's there. Yeah. So with intermediate, I find this is not 100% true, but generally, as long as you are on average opening more than one tile per click, you're gonna be, that was dumb. You're gonna make the high efficiency you're looking for. Oh boy. One thing that you do need to remember, not there. Oh, darn it. That was a really good board for efficiency too. Actually, that might have been a really bad board for efficiency. It may look like it's good for efficiency, but efficiency is, in my experience, hurt by easy boards more than it's hurt by hard boards. Because hard boards usually have more clicks you have to make in the first place, so it's easier to catch up if you fall behind. This is all warm-up still, though. That was dumb. This is one of my dailies, so I'm warming up on my daily quests. That's my pretty standard warm-up most of the time. And not there. Excuse me. Oh, right, no, duh. Okay. Means there has to be one there. Cool. But that was only 85% efficiency. I need 100% efficiency plus for these. Which is still difficult, I can tell you. Like, that's not an easy skill for me. I don't know if it's an easy skill for even the most veteran players. It might be. It might be. Oh. Let me mute my phone before it goes off again. Really? Thank you. Okay. Cool. Not there. Not there. Which means... Oh, that 3 was already solved. Oh my goodness. So there's one there, which means not there. So yeah. Just... Hello. I did see your whisper. I don't pay attention to my Twitch whispers very often. My fast went well. I ended up fasting, like, not really intentionally. I was running out of I was running out of some of the things that I normally had for lunch, so I just decided that rather than going out of my way to go to the store, I would fast those items as well. So it was, nothing fancy. Like, I normally have fruits with my lunch, and... Okay, I'm just gonna give up this quest. 100%, like, 200% efficiency or higher is just a lot. Let's do this one instead. So yeah, giving up coffee is hard for people who are coffee drinkers. So I feel for you on choosing to fast coffee. Yeah, I certainly feel for you for choosing to fast that for a couple days. I know a lot of people that would not be able to do that. Or at least that's what they say. They would not be able to do that. For me, it was a little difficult because I actually didn't have much of anything in my house. Congratulations. I currently don't have much food in my house that didn't have meat in it. So I was much more limited than I normally would be, just because of what was in my house, and I was being too lazy to go to the store. It's cold outside, okay? It's not fun to walk to the store. Yeah, there's snow on the ground right now, so, since I walk for my commute, I still get my walks in, but still, it's always fun to. There's never a dull moment, with that being my choice of how to live my life. I actually normally am. I'm pretty regularly on a phone call on my walks. But if I'm not, I usually end up listening to music, yeah. I've gotten into the habit of only having one earbud in though, cuz it's dangerous. Well, it's not super dangerous, but I got into the habit when I was biking over the summer, and I kept it. When biking, it's definitely not safe to have both ears filled. But no, I talk to my dad most mornings on my walk to work. It's it's a nice thing that keeps us connected. If you haven't noticed from my previous streams and conversations about this, family is kind of important to me, so. Yeah, I have I do the same, but since enough people in the past have come by my desk needing to talk to me, I've just gotten in the habit of, like, I think I got into the habit about the same time of just keeping one ear out. Which, you know, it's not the best music listening experience, but at least I get something. Darn it! Dumb 50-50. Yeah. I might, those might be a little obvious. I do have a recording session this weekend, so chances are pretty high I won't be streaming tomorrow. Not because it takes up my streaming time, but because by the time I get home from a recording session, I'm exhausted. It's tiring. So I'm not exactly sure what my streaming schedule this weekend will look like, but yeah, no, yeah. The real problem is that it's a different kind of exhaustion than I have when I come home from work, cuz I'm tired right now, but it's a tired that I can work through and have fun with while streaming, whereas recording days can be super stressful and overwhelming, and I just come home and I don't want to talk to anyone. I don't want to be a part of anything. I don't know if we're recording anything new. Let me see if the set list is up yet, because I don't think it is. Oh, look, we're recording in 14 hours and we still don't have a set list. What a surprise. Yeah. So, yeah, it's fine. We like our band is good enough, and if if the people who are if our singers actually pay enough attention to come on time, um uh, for when we want them to be there, then the singers should have time to practice and rehearse before they do their recordings. We're actually doing something different this time. Hey, Furret. Fancy seeing you over on the YouTubes. It's weird, but this is my first stream that's going to both places. Wow. Yes, 50-50. They got the 50-50 that time. Well, it is nice to meet you. Yeah, I did get it working. Last week, last weekend, it just, I don't think it got, and I don't think streaming on YouTube got enabled until Monday, so the timing just didn't work out. But yeah, I am doing the streaming on the tubes of you as well. It's very exciting. Fancy. Indeed. Indeed. Yeah, the eyes do blink. It's kind of weird. Okay. Not there. There's one there, which means there's two there. Not there. Not there. Not there. One there. There's two there. One there. There we go. That cleans this corner out. And this is evil NG. So that explains why I was not thinking evil NG, and I was like, this is all working out too well. Like this is not there. I don't think there's one there. Excuse me. There's one in those two. Yeah, there we go. That cleans things up a bit. Yeah. There, perfect. Da 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 da. Ba da da da. What I do know is that click, there we go. I feel like I'm saying that a lot, but it's kind of how I'm feeling. So there's one there. There's one in those two. Which means there's one in those two. Since there's only one in those two, that leaves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 2 in those 3. And there has to be one there. Yay! It is quite amazing that it is already the middle of January. Like, it just... That is craziness to me. That simple fact. Like, yeah, pretty much just, yeah. Like, I am looking pretty strongly at getting a new guitar in the next month or so. And I was thinking, yeah, I'll get that early next year. And, you know, it's middle of January, and it's like, wait a second, this time is going way fast. The way my mom tries to explain time going faster and faster as you get older, is that you have more and more time to compare it against. And I've always thought of that as a funny way to think about it, but it feels right. Is that, yeah, like, a day's a long time, but if you have 1,000 days under your belt, if you have 10,000 days, you know, 1,000 days is 3 years. So it doesn't take that long to have a very long history behind you. So it's interesting. No, I think another way I've heard it said is the longer your memories are, the shorter the days become. Which that's a very poetic way to say it, I feel like. What? I'm not actually quite sure how I misclicked that hard, but that was fun. For sure. You know, I spend a decent amount of my time, like, even just work. Like, most of my time is spent not focusing on things that have, like, they have to do with me because it's my job, but they don't have anything to do with me. You know, it's and then beyond just my job, like, I have family and friends which take up so much of my time and attention outside of work, outside of my life. Like, this wasn't what I wanted to click on. So it's yeah. It's hard to think about my responsibilities being in more than what I have right now, but I totally understand that they will. And it's it's actually this particular guitar. Can I get rid of that? Just get rid of that. Yeah, I can get rid of that. Okay. Cool. This is the exact guitar I'm looking at. It's a bit of a fancy one. It has a whole bunch of electrics in it and stuff like that let you do a lot of things. But I want to add being a guitarist for my church into my repertoire of things that I'm either able to do or actively doing. And so that is going to be a very strong tool in my tool belt. And it's an absolutely gorgeous machine as well. Yeah. I really like the color. There's another version of the same guitar which is more reddish, but I think I really like the tobacco. I really like the brown of this one. So yeah, I am. I have the cash to buy it right now if I wanted to. There's just the element of actually making the purchase that is very not stressful. It's just a very big step, and it takes me a while to finish making purchases of that size. You know, that's normal. You shouldn't just spend $1,200 on a thing out of the blue, even if you've been planning on buying it for multiple years. I will not. I do think I need to get an acoustic guitar, because my old acoustic is, well, it's not really guitar anymore. But that's a lower priority, to get an acoustic guitar once I get this. My old electric I might get rid of, but if I do, I'll just give it away, because it's such a cheap guitar. Like, I think it was $60 new when I bought it. So it's such a cheap guitar, and I put, you know, maybe another $80 into it in little things I wanted to upgrade. So it's a nicer guitar than when I bought it, which is a funny thing to say. It's hard for a guitar not to be nicer than when you bought it, when it's a $60 guitar. When you play it for a couple years. I've had it for at least a full year. But no, I still need an acoustic guitar, I think, just because there's things you can do with acoustics that you can't do with electrics. Even with this fancy one that can emulate acoustics, it isn't the same. And there's a few reasons for that. One of which, if I want to use this guitar in a live set, I have to bring my amplifier. I have a tiny amplifier that I really like, which doesn't get too loud, but I have to bring my amplifier, and I don't really want to do that to most acoustic sets. But like on my stream, I'm normally using my electric guitar in anyway. So you will probably not hear, you will probably only hear this guitar for the thank you. You'll probably only hear this guitar for the foreseeable future once I get it. Ugh. My nose is not being very happy right now, but it's just gonna have to suck it up, Buttercup. So, yeah. And my reasoning for doing my live sets that I do on stream are all done with my electric, because an electric without any particular effects on it, you can make it sound quite a bit like an acoustic guitar. Like I know that if you're a guitar nut, you'll notice the difference because it's obvious. But for someone who doesn't care about, who isn't thinking about that, it can be pretty hard to tell. And then it keeps my room volume quieter, which is nice for my mic so that I can turn its gain up a bit more, which gives me more control over things. It's just tech talk. You might have noticed I'm a bit of a techie. And it is important in an apartment too. That is also true. But normally I'm not talking about volume levels that would affect my neighbors. Like I wouldn't do a live set. I wouldn't do a live set after work on a Friday. But I would, but it's different, like during the day on a Saturday kind of thing. It's more expected for people to be a little bit bothered by their neighbors at those times of the day. But now, you know, it's getting a little late. People are starting to calm down from their day at work, and yeah, I'm gonna try and be a bit calmer, a bit quieter, a bit more subdued. One of the reasons why I don't really like doing co-op streams on Fridays is because it's a lot harder for me to stay, or it's a lot easier for me to get to be a bit more overboard when I'm co-op streaming. Well, like, in case you were wondering, I was very close, or I'm still very close to having a $1,500 camera setup. Why would I need a $1,500 camera setup and I don't even show my face? I don't know. I really like technology. Technology is the bomb, okay? Okay. Honestly, to be completely honest, I can tell you that while I could have spent that much on becoming an AI hologram, yeah, I don't know. Black hole generators are fun. Nah, yeah. I'm probably gonna be getting my first thought is looking at a moderately priced DSLR that has the capture card functionality built into it, and get a nice setup with that. You guys probably won't see my face, but that doesn't mean I don't have like business calls and such that I have to take, and I use my real face in. So I want to be able to have a nice bokeh effect and have good lighting and all such things, you know. I mean, it's not like there's much to bokeh behind me. Like it's a white wall. But I want to have the ability to do that. It depends on which business I'm making the call. I'm taking the call as. You know, if I'm being who I am right now, if I'm being a streamer, I honestly might, but it's slightly different when it's my work, and yeah, slightly different. But no, the camera setup that I was looking at is might swing a deal. The camera setup that I was looking at was a Black Magic let me get the right word or the right name. I'm looking at not the Micro Cinema, looking at the Micro Studio. Yeah, looking at the Micro Studio camera. You know. Oh, I finished my quest. Let's also finish this. So yeah, I was looking at the Blackmagic Micro Studio and having that set up in front of me. You know, no big deal. Just a 4K camera with 4K 60 camera that's designed for studio work. It's nothing special. And I'm honestly, I would never, I would not do that, but I've been tempted. That sounds like fun. Usually you have to use a time machine to uncommit war crimes. But you can you might be able to ask really, really hard, and someone might be able to just wipe the slate clean. And that's tough. If they're already after you, there's not much you can do, unless you know someone who has a time machine available. Yeah, an apology vid might help. Been a little while since I've seen you around here, Cash Money. Is that because of the war crimes? Been keeping you busy? Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, I'm kind of silly thinking about a studio like a video a video camera style thing with the Blackmagic Studio that I'm looking at. But it's kind of what I'm slowly setting up, and now I'm slowly setting up a recording studio of various types in what I have. So, it kind of makes sense to have a studio quality camera, but it also makes absolutely no sense at all for it. I don't need a $1,300 camera that doesn't have any recording capability built into it. Like, I don't need that. But it's cool. Um, I do not have drums at home. So that might be a good set of electric drums, or maybe acoustic. No, not while I'm in an apartment, but a good set of electric drums while I'm at home might be a slightly higher priority. I'm doing quite fine, Cash Money. Just sweeping mines, you know, the usual. I have very expensive tastes in electric drums, though, so it's kind of I don't know. I'm not sure that I would be. I'm not sure I would be happy with the cheaper sets that I've seen. I'm fine with cheese. It's not like that's one of the primary foods that I eat in my life. Yes, I like cheese. I don't like cheese on things, but I like cheese. Okay, that's kind of a lie. I don't mind cheese on things. I just don't think cheese adds very much on things. After this one, let's work on some high efficiency expert and drive myself insane. Okay. Not there. There's one there. Which means there's not there. Yeah, I wouldn't suggest it. Crap. I don't really have I don't have any deal with Lithuania. Sounds like a silly thing to do to me, but you know. I'm a bit more of a Colby person, personally. Colby and Monterey Jack, I really like. There's a few cheeses there that are really, that I really enjoy. So Colby cheese is a very I don't know how to explain cheeses. I don't know how to talk about cheese. It is not a hard cheese, no. Colby is a pretty soft cheese from what I know. But it's a pretty light cheese. Let me just go. With a nutty flavor and an orange color. Similar to cheddar, but does not undergo the cheddaring process. So it is a semi-hard cheese. Through a... Nope. Monterey Jack. Yeah, it's sort of like a young cheddar, but I really like Monterey Jack as well because it's because I I eat Colby Jack cheese. That is one of my favorite cheeses. Is the mixture of Colby and Monterey Jacks. Yeah. I think it's good on burgers. But I'm not much of a cheeseburger person, so I prefer my burgers uncheesed, so I'm not the right person to ask about that. It's one of the more it's one of the cheeses that got incorporated into Tex-Mex food pretty heavily. Yes, I prefer uncheesed burgers. Thank you. Thank you very much. This is a very bad run for high efficiency. You see how all but one mine is ticked? Yeah. Very bad for efficiency. Uncheesed. Oh my. Stop. Stop. Stop it. Give me. Give. Just give. Stop it. Okay, there we go. Okay, so there's one there. Oh my goodness. One there, so none there, so boo. I was probably quite a cheesy child, knowing how my family is. As you can probably tell from that joke. Yeah, that's a different type of cheese for sure. Yeah, you can tell I am the greatest comedian. There's one there, which means I'm very smart. See how smart I are. Oh my goodness, just do the thing. Okay, so there's one there. Why did I do that? You know, I can totally see that meme. With you. One there, which means the next one is there. Which means that's all solved. So one there and one there. Click, click, 3. It's not great. Shall we see? Our Aurora are probably non-toxic, but please stop trying to taste them. No breaking off pieces of the ice caps to put in your drink. Do not step on Mount Everest. Limited cell network coverage above the ionosphere. Crouch down to get more bars. Wear sunscreen. The ozone layer only protects you below the knees. If Lake Tahoe or the Dead Sea dries up, refill them with the 5-ounce wine glass. Stop, please. Stop digging through the moho. Staff are tired of cleaning up large and igneous provinces. ISS 14 feet up. Hit it with the dart. Win a prize. Yeah, refill with wine glass. Caution, ocean floor, slippery when wet. In the alt text, the floor should be slightly curved, but we haven't figured out artificial gravity yet, so for now we just added a trace intoxicating gas to the air that messes with your inner ear and gives you a sense that the ground is tilting away from you. Perfect. Okay. Let's go ahead and click that, and not there. There we go. Okay. No! Brain! No! Brain! Why? Why, brain? Actually, this one's known. Really? And the perfect. That was a gross start. And this one's probably not going to finish very well, is it? That might not have been the best choice. Okay. There's not one there. You're solved. That was a waste of click. Darn it. Okay. Okay. Well, that's just grand. Okay, so those three are gonna be the death of me. You, and you. Okay. Well, that's a waste of clicks as well. Hooray. Okay. Okay, so there's not one there. Oh, okay. Okay, good. Um Stop. Stop misclicking like that. Okay, this is a gross area right here. Yeah, my head is starting to hurt too. So there's one there. Oh, I thought I was wrong. So those three were empty. Oh, those were so trolly. I don't know if high efficiency is any fun for people to watch. I enjoy it. But it doesn't... I don't think it looks as fun. I don't think it looks as interesting as something like this does. Not that. Something like actually fast. So let's jump into an arena instead. Let's do level 3 high difficulty. What's the highest high difficulty I can do? Level 3? Level 3 high difficulty. Should I try that? Darn it. That was very smart. Good job, Ben. Oof. This should be more fun to watch and will make me more progress than a single achievement. Than trying and failing for a long time at a single achievement will do. Judah is Judah is fine from what I've seen. He's not been trying to write any lyrics, not from what I know. I think he mostly took that as a joke. Good. Which is fine, you know. I don't actually need a lyricist. I'm perfectly happy making excuse me. Instrumental music. Yeah. Gugh. But I think he's just been busy. You know, he's a high school student, so at least he better have his head in his books. No, I didn't want to click that one. I meant to click the one below it. No. So sad. Perfect. I don't think the ice arena passes will expire, but the rest of your arena passes will not. The ice arena passes expire, I'm in the middle of an arena right now. I can't look at my passes. They expire at the end of this month, I think. No. Yeah. They're not so bad. I have a ton of fun with them, but obviously, you know, I have a little bit more experience playing than you do. But I would just suggest trying them. Like, you don't lose anything if you try. I mean, I guess you lose the pass. That's true. But you lose the pass if you don't try them in anyway, so, you know. You can technically sell the pass, I think, if you go on the marketplace. I wouldn't. I personally don't, but you know, I'd enjoy playing the arenas, so it's worth it for me to keep them. If they weren't fun to you, if they were too stressful or something along those lines, then it would probably be worth selling. Oh yeah, I know. But like the time limited ones, you know. So I think this was a 30-minute arena. I'm on the one that is halfway. That when I finish this one, I'll be halfway through. With more than 15 minutes left on the clock. This, well, you know, assuming it doesn't take me that long to get this one done. To get my next win. One thing to think about is when you're just trying to go fast, like with this, it is better to take those 50-50 shots as soon as you know it's a 50-50, rather than waiting, so that you don't waste your time finishing the board when you're gonna guess wrong anyway. There are some 50-50s where you want to wait for information, but those are less common. They still exist, but in general, it might still be worth it. Cool. 5 minutes ahead of schedule right now. Or ahead of just barely completing on time. Okay, so you have 2 left. You have... I think technically if you're going for speed, you always want to just do 50-50s as soon as you see them, even if they're 50-50s that you can solve with more information. Because I think it's just slower to do the solve than it is to just guess. But, you know, I don't find that very fun. I prefer to solve when I have the chance. When I have the capabilities. So I have 12 left up in this corner. Chances are very low for it to be there. There's 2 up there, which means there's 1 there. No, that 3 was solved. Darn it. Yeah, that's one of the things that I've learned. Is essentially learning a fast start is really the, in my opinion, the first step to being a speed solver. You're gonna eventually, like, you're gonna lose time later if you're not skilled at the later portions of the solve. But the time at your starts are the easiest thing to practice. And so it's the easiest thing to get good at is starting. It still takes time, but it takes a lot more time to practice end games in general, because you have to get to end games. Yes, this is a 1-2-1. You can always uncover. You can always uncover the one in between. You can always uncover the one in the middle. Mm-hmm. Have to figure out how to solve that down there eventually, but for now it is fine. Okay, so there's 3 down here. 2 of them are taken up by you, which means that. Darn it. Ugh. Much, much better. This should be a solve unless I make a mistake. Which, you know, now that I said that, it's not actually any more likely for me to make a mistake than it was before. But, you know. That's the joke. Thanks. So yeah, I haven't said it on stream because I haven't streamed since I got notified of it. But I have been offered to accept affiliate status on Twitch. I won't be accepting it because I want to do the continue restreaming onto YouTube, which I'm just starting today, and you can't do that as an affiliate. But I have been officially offered affiliate at this point, so that is exciting. It is a big step. It is a sign of progress. So that means that you have, if I accepted it, it means that I unlock the ability for people to subscribe to my channel, so they pay money and they would no longer get ads, and they would get access to emotes that I make custom for my stream. So it essentially means that I can make money on Twitch. But I don't really like some of the stipulations that come along with it. So I wasn't planning on, that was a mistake. I wasn't exactly planning on accepting it before I was going to start streaming on YouTube. And now that I'm streaming on YouTube as well, I just I don't think it's worth, I would rather not. I would rather keep that up instead. Yeah, I probably won't change. So you can give your Prime subscription to someone else. Like if I hit partner, that would, like, if I hit the requirements for partner, which is a long ways away, I might consider Twitch. I don't. YouTube holds more promise in that it is less restrictive on the people who stream there. So I can make money on YouTube without being limited to streaming on YouTube, essentially. Which means that I have more options on top of it. So it is what it is. I wouldn't say it's necessarily more more promising, but it could be more promising. Oh, look, 47th right now. Fancy. Yes, it gives me more freedom, for sure. Look at my arena. I said my arena. So, hop up to level 3. High difficulty, I suppose. $8,000th is pretty good. All things considered. That's not bad. Oh, that was dumb. Yeah, that's a pretty good position. No, not bad, not bad at all. Like, I think I was top 500. First month I played on this service, but I was not a noob to Minesweeper when I was doing that. I was just switching to a new service, essentially. Playing in a new place. Yeah, lockdown has done something to all of us. I've always been a bit more of a numbers person. So, like, I found, was it Karuko? I found Karuko, I think. And then I found the version of Sudoku, which mixed Karoku and Sudoku, which I absolutely loved. And it just like I had gotten to the point on Sudoku where I was finishing expert difficulties in 2 minutes, 2-3 minutes on average. Anything easier than expert was like yeah. It used to be like that for me, and then I took another, and then I sat down and started actually learning how to do it properly. And then I fell in love with Sudoku. I don't like it as much as I like Minesweeper. Darn it. I don't like it as much as I like Minesweeper, but I really like Sudoku as well. Really? Sudoku is kind of my jam on my for phone games, because it's super easy. It has a much nicer control scheme than Minesweeper. For sure. I could see that. For me, it wasn't until pretty much the end of high school that I enjoyed English much at all. Of course, the end of high school is when I ended up taking creative writing. And that creative writing was my jam in my senior year. Like, I took pop culture, which was a fine class. I only needed to take one English class in my senior year. So the first one I took was pop culture, and that was fine. But creative writing, creative writing was fun. Oh, there was no pressure at all for creative writing for me. Like my teacher could ask me to write, and I don't think it made any difference. Because I actually fell in love with English the year before, when I had my first actually good English teacher, which was also one of the times that I learned to stand up for myself, to advocate for myself, because I was not going, like, the way I was scheduled, I was going to be out of her class the next semester, but she was my favorite teacher by far. And so I wasn't going to let a scheduling conflict kick me out of the class I was enjoying most. Not kick me out of the class, but kick me out of having the teacher that I was enjoying the most that year. Now I'd say I'm okay at advocating for myself. I'm not great at it, but when something really matters, I stand up for it. Yeah. One of the things that I really liked about this English teacher is that she just accepted me for what I was. Like, I'm good enough at English that I could have taken the honors, the college level course, but I didn't want to. I knew I wasn't going, like, I didn't want to push myself in that way because I knew it wasn't going to be fun. And I had too many unfun classes that year for various reasons. Grumble, grumble, grumble. To give up one of the few classes that I was really enjoying to transfer to a diff version instead. But what was also interesting about that teacher, my uni major was game development, so a subset of comp sci. So what I was saying is that teacher, she also she was also a college professor. So it was very nice to have her, like, it made me happy to have her grade my essays and whatnot and say, I would be give me comments along the lines of, I would be happy to get this from one of my students in my in my college courses. I think she was doing first year stuff mostly that year, but still, the fact that I was doing college level writing in my junior year, so 11th grade, it was a very nice compliment, and it's something that stuck with me because that was dumb. I knew that was a mine. Why did I click? So she was my favorite teacher for several reasons. She also happens to be the person who sponsored the slam poetry team while I was in school, high school. And that was the sport, quote unquote, that I ended up competing in. I never actually ended up competing at a competition night, which I know that my coach was disappointed in, but we were, by the time that I was like, by the time that I was able to be given a chance, things were too competitive to put my poem forward because we just didn't feel it was going to score high enough. But what I did do is I was one of our main editors on the team, and we ended up winning state. So I was one of the main editors, and I was also one of the the person who wrote the end of our group poem of our for our team of our 4-person group poem, which yeah. Have I ever done it as an adult? I've performed my pieces as an adult. But I have not written new. I have not written anything new since I left the team. I've thought about writing something new. I just haven't. I don't know. I haven't felt the need to write, and so without the need to write, I haven't done it. I also would need an editor because it's not my natural style to write poems that are performable. I can help people edit it towards being performable, but I'm not very good at editing my own poems. My own writing. I'm not asking you to be my editor. I'm just saying. I'm not particularly interested in writing in that style right now. So but who knows? I might end the stream out today with performing that piece. I mean, you won't get the full brunt of it because I can't, like, I definitely don't have it memorized anymore. But I don't have, since I don't use since you only see this avatar, you won't see any of the motions which were built, which we performed around, and I don't remember them either anyway. So there's a lot, there's a decent bit that's been lost from my performance at this point, but I would be competent at it, reading from a script. You're right. There's I would say that you're right. But it depends on what your definition of sharing your poetry is, of course. Um I wouldn't say that you need to do like a vocal performance. I don't like, I don't think you need to read it out loud. I don't think you need to read them out loud and like you do in slam poetry or like perform it. You know? What else what else can I boost in my arena? I think I can generally do level 3s. Yeah. And that's a perfectly fine way of sharing your poetry. I have level 2 no flags. Level 1 efficiency. Hardcore NG. Oh my goodness, that's hard. Oh my goodness, that's hard. Let's do it. Okay, so here we can't afford to lose anything. We have to be... But we also can't be slow. But we can't rush too much. Okay. But we have 2 minutes per... Yeah, we have 2 minutes per... These aren't particularly difficult. But... Not there. Crap! C. Now we're in trouble because of that mistake. Because I didn't think long enough. And now since we're behind, and when I say behind, I mean we're pretty way behind right now. Cool. So now I have to go fast and be correct. Okay. One there. What I was trying to say is that because we are way behind on time right now, it is now be quiet and think time for just until I catch up at least. But not only do I need to catch up, I need to also be on top of things, so... there's 9. Crap! Well, now not gonna catch up now. That's... I mean, I might, it's still winnable, but... I couldn't see a move. I was... Okay. Okay. Cool. Okay. Okay. We can calm down just a bit. Just a bit. No! Okay, no calming down. That's not... Calming down is not okay. You can't... Calming down leads to misclicks, apparently. This feels mighty impossible at this point. So it's still worth trying your hardest as you finish it out, because you get more rewards the more complete you are. Okay, why am I so bad? Why? I know why I'm so bad, because I'm stressed, because I'm tense, but you do still get some rewards if you do not win, as long as you have made progress. I've had supper, yeah. I have supper pretty much right after I get home from work. Because I am an early bird, so pretty much all of my meals are leaned towards the early side of things. Like I know a lot of my friends' families as they were growing up would have dinners at 6, 7, or sorry, at 7, 8, or 9. 9 was the latest I ever heard for dinner being regularly, but for me, my family dinner was 5:30. It was somewhere between 5:30 and 6, usually. That's just kind of been my continued habit, my continued process, way I live my life since then. So like even if I go to dinner with people that like if they want to have dinner pretty late, for me it's usually going to be a second dinner kind of thing for me, and I won't end up eating too much because I am hungry as soon as I get home from work. So if I'm cooking, if I cook something for real, it's closer to 6. But if I'm not cooking, it ends up being closer to 5:30. Essentially. So there's one in those two. I could. There's some reasonable restaurants along my path, but I usually don't. If I'm gonna eat out, I'm gonna order food once I get home more often than not. Just because the restaurants that are on the way aren't exactly the kinds of restaurants that I want to eat out from very often. I mean, they're fine. I enjoy their food perfectly well, but there's nothing. Everything along the way is more of a fast food restaurant, and if I was going to get food, like if I want food to eat at home, I'm gonna get something a bit nicer. I want something that's a bit more sit down food than fast food. Because I don't know, the fast food never really seems to be like, it's fine, but it's just not my first choice. Right. So, there's a few faster food restaurants that I eat at. but they're a lot, like they straddle the line between fast food and sit down. So, yeah. Yeah, well, that's that. Didn't go very well. Made too many mistakes. Do I have that speed NG? I do. I already have a level 2 speed NG. I don't have an endurance done yet. I don't really want to take on endurance right now, though. So I think what I'm going to do then, I get up at 6 a.m. generally. It's not uncommon for it to be a bit earlier than that, even. Do I have any nightmare done? I don't have any nightmare. Okay, let's try nightmare level 3. We have 30 games to win. This nightmare is a decent bit more forgiving than that hardcore NG plus. But since it's not no guessing, it's also a lot less forgiving because your boards are less forgiving. That's one of the reasons why hardcore NG plus is so particularly unforgiving in how much time you have. Because you're guaranteed to have good boards. So. But yeah, I wake up at 6 a.m. Sometimes a little bit earlier before my alarm, but my alarm is set at 6. And then I start my day with a half hour of devotional time. Wow, that was rude. I start my day with a half hour devotional time, so I essentially start my normal day at 6:30, and then I head off to work at 7. I read my Bible. That was dumb. I read my Bible. I usually have focused prayer. Like I pray. I pray. I have focused prayer for about 10-ish minutes, and then I read my Bible for about 20. Sometimes I have an actual devotional I'm going through. But recently I've just been reading the Bible straight. Kind of hoping to, yeah, like a study book, essentially. Um, yeah, YouVersion has devotionals in it. So, but like I'm trying to beat my current record of how fast I read through. But you know, you even when you're doing that, you're you're always doing more than just reading. So I think my current record is 8 months. 8 months to read through the Bible, essentially from front to back. Like I read, I did read the whole thing, but I did not do it in front to back order, because I started in Joshua and then went through the Old Testament until I went through Judges and Kings and whatnot until I got to Proverbs and Psalms. I skipped Proverbs and Psalms, finished out the Old Testament, and then I went back to the start of the Old Testament, and read Genesis and Exodus and Deuteronomy, getting the start. And then I read Proverbs and Psalms, and then I went to the New Testament. So this time I'm reading straight through, because I started in Joshua before, because that was where we were at the time, where my pastor was teaching from at the time. So I decided that was probably a better place to start than just at the beginning. So that was why it was in such a weird order when I did it last time through. So I switched translations and then started reading again. And then when I finish this time, I will switch translations and start reading again. And so that's just kind of how I plan on living my life for the next amount of time, is that I'll be reading through a whole bunch of translations of the Bible, because no matter what people say, like there are certain translations that you shouldn't have as your primary, for sure, because they just essentially what they do is they translate in ways that are not necessarily preferable in how you would how you would want a book to be translated. But they're still like my argument as to why they're still valid is that generally they're still inspired, inspired in some way. And when I say inspired, I'm talking about spiritually inspired. So they aren't just picking the words because they think that's they think it's the best way to translate it. And so them thinking it's the best way to translate it is coming from somewhere. And I believe that imagination and creativity are gifts. So anything that comes from imagination and creativity is at some level inspired by God. Oh, yeah. So like I was saying, I'm not using them as my primary translation, but you can get something different out of a translation if it's translated differently. And so since the Bible in my eyes is a living book, and I will get what I need to get out of it as I read through it. I will potentially be able to get more out of rereading it because I'm reading new translations each time. I don't know. It's just that's kind of a that is one of the things that makes me in my walk with in my spiritual walk, because I'm a very creative person, and I yeah. It's a crazy thought, isn't it? I normally, if I'm well, not if I'm taking notes, I normally have a separate notebook, which I then keep, like, I enjoy keeping them separate, but I totally understand the internal struggle of having something to take notes in, but it's a Bible. How can I take notes in this? Right. Yeah, I totally get that. Oh, for sure. And I understand both ways of taking notes. Yeah. That is one thing that I don't do as much as I should. I don't journal. I don't take notes. I don't take notes very well, very much. So that's probably something that I need to work on so that I can get even more out of my time. But, you know. I wasn't doing this a year ago. Like I wasn't reading the Bible every day a year ago. I wasn't praying every day a year ago. So I'm taking baby steps. There's parts of me that really wants to start journaling, but at the same time, there's parts of me that have always been really skeptical of my ability. Like, one of my problems is that I generally don't have good handwriting. So journaling can be difficult for me just from that standpoint if I want it to be accessible later on. So that's one difficulty in my life. And then the next set of difficulties, so that's where my skepticism comes in about my journaling. Yeah, and that's another thing, is that I don't know if I would ever open it back up. So, like, why write it down if I'm never gonna use it? And it's just, it's not a good reason. I don't think. They're just excuses. Because, like, journaling is there, right? Journaling is there for me, because writing down is is an exercise of helping you remember. No, I don't know. Baby steps. Yeah. Oh, for sure. That is one of the biggest downsides with one of the biggest downsides with with being a person of my generation, where honestly, I am definitely a computer person. Like, I know it's such a surprise, but like I got very used to taking notes digitally, and these things, like, they just don't help as much. Typing doesn't, like, I think there's even been studies about this, but typing notes, you have less recall on average than written notes. Even if you never even if you look back at the notes and can read them, but like the fact that you can read them doesn't matter. What matters is that the actual action of writing helps with the recall, which is so crazy to me, and I understand it, but it's very interesting. And thank you. So it's one of those things that is very interesting with my generation. Because we have shifted into being a digitally focused like the world has shifted into being generally digitally focused. And like, even more interesting, there are people who learn Chinese who are barely literate. Like, they know how to type, but they don't know how to write. Like, they forget how to write. I wouldn't be surprised. Like, it's which, and so the reason that they forget how to write, I mean, I think it's a similar reason why Japanese people can forget how to write. But it's because the way that the words are made up, like when you type Chinese, you don't type the symbols. You type you type essentially like in Japanese, you type the kana, and then from the kana you make the kanji. Like, it figures out what kanji you want based on the kana you type. And so that's normal for Japanese. They've been teaching like that for a long time. Because that's how Japanese works. It gives you options. I can show that off later, maybe. But it gives you options. Because there are multiple kanji that you can get from the same kana. But like Chinese doesn't have the same system. Chinese until the 80s, when computers started taking over in China, they didn't have an equivalent of kana. I mean, they still don't. But they do have a way to type in English, like English characters, the pronunciation of the characters, and be able to get and have it translate into the characters. I'm 90% sure it's similar to how Japanese works. And it is working, but the literacy rate is going down. Well, if you look at the difference in literacy rates, there you go. The literacy rate in China is going up because more people know how to write. But the literacy rate when it comes to writing is going down. Because people are losing, because they're losing the connection to how the language was always done. So while it is working, it's not working. Things are falling apart, and so it's interesting. I don't think that Japan is having the same problems, and so I think China needs to learn from Japan a bit. But people who are but the Chinese would never agree to hearing something like that. They are far too proud a people to their own problem. Yes, writing is highly revered in Japan. Mm-hmm. Okay. Nice. This is why I don't normally do Nightmare, because it goes on forever. It feels like, 'cause I'm not successful. Kaniki. Yeah. There we go. That's just... I do quite like the kanji for spring. I would say that I believe that they are absolutely gorgeous languages. Chinese and Japanese. What they are, however, is very interesting. They are in many ways very difficult to. They can be very difficult to learn, and they're not necessarily harder than other languages. It's just the new character set. Even just learning, needing to go through the process of learning a new character set in the first place is just a big, yes, but it is just a big barrier to entry. Although I will say that I was proficient in, moderately proficient in hiragana, in a day or two of working hard, of trying at it. I wouldn't say I'm good, but giving me a little bit of time, I am moderately proficient with hiragana. Katakana is a different story, but that's because I don't, that I was solid with, and then I just haven't used it very much because you don't use katakana as much. Actually, I don't use katakana at all in my or have not been using katakana at all in my kanji practice, which makes a bit of sense, you know. I read it once in a while, but I don't ever have a reason. I'm not ever typing it. So I'm not thinking about it as much like I am with hiragana, which I am thinking in my practice. I am always putting the kanji into the hiragana so that I can type. So that I can type the reading of the kanji. It's interesting. Recently I've been getting back to so it's an SRS, so it's a spaced repetition system. I have not tried to learn the Korean alphabet. No. But since I've been using a spaced repetition system and SRS to learn my kanji. Hey, Judah. I've just now been getting a bunch of old lessons, and interestingly, I'm remembering the readings more than I'm remembering the definitions. Like I'm running into problems with getting the right definitions more often than I am getting the right readings, it feels like, which is weird. Which is the complete and total opposite of what I was remembering, like the quality of how, or not quality, but how well I was remembering things before, or remember new things. I am ranked like 44th right now. It might be higher, but I don't feel like checking. Definitely not top 40. But yeah, still top 50. Darn it. Yes, Judah is chatting on the tubes of you. It is his preferred platform. It's not because of him that I'm streaming on YouTube, but since it's his preferred platform, he might as well, stick there when he can. He sees the Twitch chat on screen. Just like you see his chat on screen from YouTube. Y'all get the same stream, just to 2 different places. Y'all. Now, if he's just listening and not paying attention to the video, he won't necessarily see your chat. You're chatting. YouTube is way more conducive to lyric writing. Judah. Yes, there's one there. I want to get 2 more wins, and then you know what? No, I'm giving up. It's just not fun. Like that arena, that type of arena is just not fun. Yeah, 43rd right now. Oh. Okay. Okay. Let me think. Okay. Well, I'm thinking that I'm probably let's do one more attempt at high efficiency expert. Oof. Okay. Hello. I gave up on that arena. Was not having fun. It's gonna be one there. That... Okay, then. Oh no, that was dumb. Okay, you know, I think I'm done for tonight with Minesweeper. but you wanted to hear a thing? Let's hear a thing. What was I looking at? I'm looking for... Is it this? It's not that. Is it this? Yes, it's that. It's that, and then that. It's not that. Where is it? Is it in here? I don't think this needs lyrics. Poetry. Okay, there we go. Poetry. Okay. Okay, so I might be a little inaccurate because I'm gonna do this right. So you're gonna get bass voice, Ben. You know, you're gonna get a much better microphone placement while I do this. Can I also not editing, viewing, and then I want to view this 90%. Can I want to see both pages at the same time. Let me see both pages at the same time. Please. Bass. Really? You're not Fine. I'll download a PDF. I'll open it with Firefox and I'll put it in a way that I can see it with both screens. Boom. Okay. Good evening. I'm Ben, and this is my poem, My Imagination. I have an artist's mind, my prison cell, my overactive imagination locking me away. I am an artist, someone whose writings will change the world, hopefully for the better. I am an artist, but these days I'm lost in a corn maze with no entrance and no exit, lost in an infinite whiteness my mind says will protect me, an infinite whiteness that is going to consume me, an infinity without homemade macaroni and cheese, friendly conversation, or even the simple touch of another living thing. And yet, in these stark, white canvas walls, shattering me in ways that I could never break myself, they take me out to see the stars. You know, up close. They really aren't that beautiful. You don't see constellations or those spiky little star shapes that we drew as children. All you see is a blindingly hot ball of gas. Radiant and untouchable, like the radiant and untouchable globe of light that penetrates the bleakness of my ceiling. I've seen galaxies, aliens, monsters, UFOs, flying pigs, and once, I think I saw an angel. I've seen more of this universe from inside the blank canvas of my mind than you'll be able to see in 1,000 lifetimes. I've walked through deserts, on the bottoms of oceans, and yes, probably even your backyard. In case you've been wondering, the grass is always greener on the other side. You just can't see the patches of dirt that hide, scarring the landscape like craters on the moon. I live in a canvas world. It's my oyster and my prison. I can find anything in that blank space that goes on forever and yet stops at the end of this 8-foot by 10-foot room. I live in an infinity. I live in a prison cell. I live for the constant ticking of the clock just outside my door that I almost forget to notice. I live for the beauty that my overactive, overbearing, and probably insane imagination gives to me. As I look out from my cell, I see shadows wandering within their prisons. Theirs made of the same canvas as mine. While some are stained glass windows into worlds built by hands locked within the manacles of their own creativity, others are still white voids of absolute conformity. We are unified through this separation which refuses to leak into my daily life, sleeping or waking. I see no difference. Both are dreams. Dreams pulling me back into the unkempt uniformity of my mind. I live in a canvas, and my artist mind refuses to let it stay blank. And as I'm lost in this canvas, I'll create a universe, filling an infinity with an infinity, finding beauty in nothing by making it myself. Thank you. And so, yeah. I'm glad that was worth staying up for. That was my performance piece. That was my performance piece there. And I think that's pretty close to what my performance was. Thanks, Judah. I'm glad that made your day. Like, it's one of those things where this is still this is still ripping shreds out of my heart to say this, because it's still true. Like, it is still exactly who I am. 6 years later now, I think. Yeah, I had a really good coach. I had a really good coach. I have other poems, but none of them are designed for performance like that one is. That one took a lot of editing to get ready for performance. Um but I thank you. Thank you. And it's just one of those things where yeah. So that's the original one. Huh. Like I don't look through this very often now. So, well, I need to end this stream anyway. So, thank you for coming around, and I'm glad I could do that. Could do that performance. Who knows? I might work on a new performance piece. So yeah. Have a great weekend, everyone. So, good night. Bye.